All right, here I have 4x3 in brackets 3x minus 2, which is in brackets, and then there's a squared sign there, all over 8x4. So I'm going to break this up. I'm going to look at just the numerator right now. Okay, so let's ignore this 8x4, and let's just write the numerator. So 4x3, 3x minus 2. And notice that there's a square there. So if there's a square there, that means to times the base, this is the base, however many times it says here in the powers. So it says there's 2, so I'm going to times the base, 3x minus 2, twice. If there was a 3 there, if this was a 3 instead, then I would do another one. I would put another one in there. So there, as you can see, there's a base there, and there's 3 of them because it's a 3, but there's not, so I'm just going to back up there. Okay, so let us now work with the two binomials here side by side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ignore this 4x3 right now and just work with this. So 3x times by 3x, that's going to give me 9x squared. 3x times by negative 2, that's going to give me negative 6x. 2 times by 3x, another negative 6x. And then lastly, negative 2 times by negative 2, positive 4. Combine my like terms, so I'm going to have 9x squared. So there's no other x squared there, so that's good. Let's look at our x1. There's an x1 here, and x1 here, so negative 6 and negative 6 is going to give me negative 12x plus 4. Okay, so I worked out this binomial, and now I'm going to look at what's outside the bracket. So I have here, there is still that 4x3 that I haven't touched. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute this 4x3 to every term in the bracket. So I have 4 times by 9, well that's 36. Then x3, x2, since I'm multiplying, this means I have to add my exponent, so that's x to the 5. 4 times by negative 12, that's going to give me negative 48. X to the 3 and 1, that's x to the 4. And lastly, 4x cubed times by 4 is going to give me 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. Since there's no variable there, it's just going to give me that x3, so x to the 3. Alright, so now this here is the answer to, I worked out this numerator. So now let us include now our denominator, which is 8x4. So I'm going to put this all over 8x4. And remember, when we divide a polynomial or a trinomial to be specific by a monomial, the best way to approach it is to cut up your polynomial into individual monomials. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to have 36 x to the 5 over 8 x to the 4 minus 48 x to the 4 divided by 8 x to the 4. And then lastly, I'm going to have plus 16 x to the 3 over 8 x to the 4. I'm going to put my answer over here on the side because I'm running out of room. So let us work this first monomial out. So the numerical coefficient first, 36 divided by 8. It doesn't divide nicely, but I could reduce the 2 by dividing both the bottom and the top by its lowest common factor, which is 4. Sorry, lowest common multiple, which is 4. 36 divided by 4, that's going to give me 9. 8 divided by 4 is going to give me 2. Now I'm dividing now the variables. When you divide variables, you have to subtract for whatever is the lowest exponent. So the lowest exponent between 5 and 4 is 4. So that's why I'm subtracting both the top and bottom by 4. This crosses out the x in the bottom, and I'm left with just x to the 1, or just x on top. Okay, so that's good. Let's go to the next monomials. I have 48 divided by 8. That actually works out nicely, and it'll give me a 6, because 48 divided by 8 is 6. Now I have x to the 4, x to the 4. As you can see, this crosses out, but I'm just going to show it to you because I'm going to subtract both by 4, and that's now gone. So it crosses out. Lastly, let's look at the 16 divided by 8. Well, 16 divided by 8 actually is 2. Now let's look at our exponents. There is a 3 here and a 4 here. So I'm going to subtract by 3 on the top and subtract by 3 in the bottom. That crosses out the x's on the top. In the bottom, I'll have x 4 minus 3. So that's going to actually be x to the 1, or just x. So here is my answer. I have 9x over 2 minus 6 plus 2 over x.